Hi, sir.
Becky.
All right, well, welcome everyone to tonight's board meeting, and I'm going to bypass reading the opening statement, and we'll go ahead and stand for the pledge and the prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We just pause, loving God, to acknowledge you and to thank you for the day you've given us. We ask that you'll be with us in our conversation and with our actions to help guide the school. We ask that you'll continue to be with the students and the teachers and the administration and all the support staff throughout the school corporation. And again, we ask for all these provisions, and we thank you for sending your son, Jesus. And it's in his name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you all for making it, and we'll go ahead and jump right in. The first item is the minutes, and I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the July 20th, 2026 board meeting. If there's a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Adam.
Second.
Thank you, Dennis. All those in favor? Thanks. And under reports, we've got Michelle tonight.
Michelle?
Glad to have you.
Get a weed spray in your yard. Yeah.
Okay, so I really enjoy preparing this every year to kind of show you what my staff is doing and what the students are eating at all three schools. Obviously, we're still making our pizzas. One new thing this last year, we started doing them at the elementary schools. So they're not available every day. So every other Friday is the plan last year. And then moving forward, we served so many pizzas the first few Fridays. It was a little crazy. I don't think we had any students getting the chicken sandwiches or the peanut butter and jellies. It was all pizza. Some of the new pizzas we've done this year, one of the ones that was really big was the chicken bacon ranch. Obviously, pepperoni and cheese still remain the most popular, no matter what we do. We've done taco pizza, Big Mac pizza, veggie pizza, supreme pizza. We just got buffalo pizza, tons of pizzas. The next thing I want to really talk about is the fruits and vegetables. I have been amazed at how many we are serving, and it just continues to be more and more and more each week that we're ordering. We partnered last year with Beasley's. They provided us with apples last year. I believe we're doing 12 bushels every other week between the 3 schools. That's a lot of apples. This year, we should be lucky enough to get tomatoes, lettuce, fresh herbs, and berries from Beasley's as well. There may be a few other things this fall that we'll get, maybe some squash, some other things that they'll have this fall that we'll be able to get. But those are the ones we're really hoping for, especially the lettuce right now. So these are some of the options that we've served. We have the bagged fresh vegetables every day in all 3 cafeterias. It may be a combination of some. We did fresh watermelon a couple times last year. We've done the fruit salads. These are all popular. The watermelon, we've kind of made that a tradition when it gets into season towards the end of the year. And they really look forward to having that. Obviously, Boneless Wing Day is one of our most popular days at all 3 schools. They have so many options on this day. We offer buffalo ranch, sweet chili, garlic parm, hot honey, and honey barbecue. So those are their options. At the elementaries, we usually do 2 or 3, just because the decision, it takes too long. Honey butter biscuits, we always serve with it. We're still doing our wraps and a lot of the bento boxes this year. So in the upcoming slides, we really expanded the bento boxes and the wraps. So this year, you'll start to see some of the wraps at the elementary schools. We're already doing the Lunchable boxes at the elementary schools, but you'll start seeing some of the other boxes as well. That's the chicken salad one. We offer it a number of ways, but it seems to be popular with the students and the staff. These are some of the other favorites from last year and that we'll do again this year. If everybody knows Renee, she's the lead at the high school. Her family used to have the Dairy Queen. So we do this Dairy Queen basket that is hugely popular. We made homemade cornbread, which was delicious. We'll be doing that again. That is pizza spaghetti up there. We tried the regular baked spaghetti. We threw a little pepperoni in it, and now it's crazy popular. So these are some more of our boxes. Again, like I said, we are doing the Lunchable ones at the elementaries. Again, it's not available every day right now, so we're kind of doing that on every other Friday too. I think it's what we'll do this year. Worked out well last year. On those days, we still have the other options available, but they can choose the Lunchable. And when they get the Lunchable, they can still get any other fruit, vegetable, grain, all of that stuff that's on the line as well. Some more of our boxes. There's a charcuterie box, very popular. Caramel and apples is always really popular, especially since we started getting the Beasley's apples, and I do kind of advertise that in the cafeterias, and a lot of the kids are pretty familiar with that. More boxes. We did hummus and pita. We do a protein box. That's another variation of the charcuterie box. The cool thing about that is we can kind of switch it up and just kind of offer something different in it every time that we do it. The protein box, these boxes, again, the same thing. Like the kids can get all the other fruits and vegetables that are offered on the line, as well as milk, grain, whatever else they want, they can take with the box. These are our grab-and-go coolers just before first day of school. we have so many options now at the high school. We've started to put a few of these things at the elementaries based on whether it's compliant. And I don't want to have too many things because then it kind of slows them down. But we do have a few options at the elementary school that are new this year. But just all these options in this grab and go cooler, and they're all popular, so I can't get rid of one or the other. So we just keep adding more. Breakfast, really have been trying to get our breakfast participation up. We still struggle with it. But these are some of the items that we offer. We're trying to do some more hot options and some more that include a protein and maybe a potato, a vegetable, something along with the fruit and the milk and the grain. Breakfast pizza, the yogurt parfait is always popular. They've been asking me for everything bagels, so we've got those this year. Our cereals, we do have a new guideline on cereals. So if you hear the cereals don't taste as great as they used to, it is true. But they do have a lot less sugar. And another thing that's notable, there's no food dye in the cafeterias at all. We got rid of the last of those remaining few little items at the end of last year. If Gatorade does not cooperate, we'll be getting rid of that too. So I only have 2 flavors at the high school left, but they'll be gone if they don't decide to cooperate. More breakfast options. This coffee bar at the high school is still very popular. And then obviously the boba was new this year. As long as they kept it in their cup, we were happy to serve them the boba. But it has been a huge seller for us, which is great. And the kids really, really are super excited about it every day. This is from the catering we just did for the teachers this year. We kind of go with the same theme because I hear that that's what they like. So we just keep doing it. But salads, wraps, soups. These are some of the new after school items that you'll see this year at the high school. Trying to offer some more stuff for kids that need a little bit more after school. So we do have some hot options, flatbread pizzas after school. That's a trail mix that we made. And then the after school sub meal deal at the high school. So this has been a big success at certain times of the year. Football, basketball, track, wrestling, all those things. They don't have to leave. They don't have to go to Subway. They don't have to run back and forth. We offer it. They can order it ahead of time on a little form. And then we'll have it ready for them right after school. And that includes a 6-inch sub, some baked chips, a small cookie, and a water. And that's $6. You can't beat it. So. This is from Lunch Hero Day last year. This is some of my staff at the high school. They had a really fun day, but they wore capes and their little superhero goggles. We tried to spruce things up in the cafeteria over the summer. We're working on some stuff for Thorntown and Wells now, just to kind of update the cafeterias a little bit. So we made a lot of signs. That ice cream cooler was white. So we painted it black and did the decals for it. The slushy machine, believe it or not, there's no fake coloring in there. Another thing we did over the summer is we had these frames and we had pictures of food in there that we didn't make. So I thought, why don't we use the pictures that we take all year and showcase our food in those frames? So I think they turned out really cool. So if you come over to high school, check it out. It's like on that back wall when you're lining up for pizza. We put a sign on the front door. Just to kind of highlight a few things that all want to do, going into this year. Obviously, we always want to have more kids eating lunch with us, but our big focus is really needs to be breakfast. I feel like we're really missing out. We have a lot of kids that could come in and eat breakfast, and just trying to figure out more creative ways to get that breakfast to them or get them to the cafeterias, whatever we need to do, make it quicker, grab and go, whatever. So I'm open for ideas from anybody, but that is an area that I really need to focus on because I think we serve a great breakfast. We just need to figure out how to get it to those kids. Scratch cooking has also been a big focus of mine since I started. I would say at the end of last year, we were at about 65% scratch cooked food, which is a big deal for a school cafeteria. We're not just opening bags and throwing it in the oven and serving it. When you see spaghetti sauce, we made that. When you see that baked spaghetti, we made that. Obviously the chicken and noodles and all those things, but the burrito bowls, the taco, we make most of that stuff in-house now. Obviously like chicken nuggets, stuff like that. They're still very popular with the kiddos and we'll serve them still, but serving that with a broccoli with a cheese sauce that we made, big deal. So we're going to try as much as possible to increase that over this year as well. I'm not sure if we'll ever get to 100% because chicken nuggets would be very time consuming, but we'd like to get as close as possible. This year, I will say last year, we started doing a bigger salad bar at the high school as a menued item day. It turned out to be really popular. I would like to try it at the elementaries this year, so we'll see how it goes. I think the teachers would love it too. And I think most of the kids will, and we obviously have an alternative if they don't, but it's something I'm going to try this year at the elementaries. We just served, a couple protein options, lots of veggies, lots of fruit, lots of toppings for the salads, and the kids seem to really enjoy it. So we will do it at the elementary. Another thing that I've been really wanting to do, if I keep talking about it, they're going to take my mouth shut, but I'm going to do the Aussie Bowls. We may start it at breakfast time at the high school. If you've been to Everbowl or been anywhere like football games, whatever, they're really popular. And it's Aussie base, and then you top it with fruit, granola, peanut butter, almond butter, all sorts of toppings, and I think the kids would really like it. So we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. But they'll have their base, and then they'll be able to top it with whatever they want. And then if it gets really popular, we'll offer it at lunch too. But also with the Aussie, we're going to go ahead and do yogurt too, since everybody knows what that is. We'll keep doing our after-school sub sandwich deal. I think that it's a great benefit to not have to have the kids leave the school. Keep them here, keep them safe, let them eat here. We're going to keep increasing our local stuff. I have a contract with Prairie Farms. Once that's up, I have been talking to Carter Farms Freshly Dairy. So hopefully we'll be using them in the next school year, even for our cartons. So we'll see what happens, but we're definitely going to get some other things in here next year. Keep working with Beasley's. I've heard there's another orchard in Jamestown, so I'll be trying to figure that one out this year. I finally did it. We have a Facebook page for the cafeteria. I don't know what I'm doing, so just follow us and see what happens. I went back and forth on this for a long time, but I kept seeing other schools, and I'm like, man, we're doing such cool stuff. We've got to get it out there. I tell parents, when I happen to be on the phone with them, what we're doing, and like, I didn't even know you were doing that stuff. The kids say the food's good, but we didn't realize how much you were doing. So I will start posting to that. I guess that's our profile link or whatever. But if you just search Western Boone Nutrition Services, you will find it. These are just some numbers. I would say overall, from the previous year, we have increased in all categories except for breakfast. And not only did we not stay the same, we decreased in breakfast last year. I hope that doesn't happen this year. I'm going to try everything I can. Our staff's going to do everything I can to make sure that breakfast goes up. I hate to see it go down again, but it went down at all three schools, so it's not one school. It's kind of across the board. So we'll figure out what we need to do for that. Adult meals, we just keep continuing to climb, and then a la carte as well. I mean, we do sell a lot, and it does really help our department. So I do like to see those numbers climb, and it just means that, we're offering the right stuff to these kids. But again, at WeBo, breakfast down, everything else is up. Budget wise, I have been trying to slowly spend down, to get where we need to be. We are closer to that. The dish machine project is done at the high school, and it looks great. It's working great. Finally, we had some hiccups, but now it's doing really well. My next step at the high school will be to redo the floors. We had them done not too long ago, but there's some issues, so I really want to just take those up and get them back to a proper kitchen floor. So hopefully that will be our next big step at the high school. Thorntown has a new washer and dryer. There are some thoughts, and I've been thinking about Thorntown's floor lately too, so that might be something coming up in the next probably 2 years. The Thorntown walk-in, which has been a thorn in my side since day one, I believe after this week will probably be fixed. I think we've finally figured it out. I know the guys have really worked hard on that freezer so many times to figure it out, but I think we've finally figured it out, so I'm really excited about that. Something kind of crazy, we had a lot of days where we served more entrees than we have students in some of the schools, which, I mean, that means they're eating their meal and they're coming back and getting another one. So I thought that was really neat. This last year, we started a new tradition. We're going to do it every year. We did a senior survey. So we asked the seniors, hey, what would you like to eat that's special before you leave WeBo? Basically, we'll cook you whatever you want. Just let us know. There wasn't a single thing that came back on that survey that we don't already serve. So I thought that was really cool. So that almost that last month, we just put all of their favorites on. But I was really excited to see them. They couldn't come up with anything else. Huge thank you to the adults and the staff that come to eat with us. My staff really likes to see the teachers and adults in the cafeteria, and the kids do too. I think it's a big deal that they see teachers and staff eat the cafeteria food. So thank you. Can't say enough good things about my staff. I really, really do ask a lot of them. I do. And I ask more every year. So, but they just keep doing it, and they keep making it happen, and they do it because of these kids. They have not said no to any of my crazy ideas, and they don't even blink an eye. They just do it. And all those kids that we're feeding now, when I started, we were serving about 400 kids a day. Now we're up to about 650 at the high school. So that's a difference. At Wells, I think we're serving about 50 more a day. Thorntown, about 60 more a day. That's a lot. So I just want that number to keep growing. But the slide that I did not put on here is an important one. I can't say thank you enough to maintenance. When I started, that kind of wasn't a relationship that was built. Now I call those guys up and they are there in a flash. Partnership to me and to my staff, because if we don't have equipment that works, we can't do what we need to do for these kids. And those guys have made sure that our stuff is working and working properly and repaired properly. So she's bigger, but that's just to say, you know, we do for you, you do for us. We have a great partnership now, and it's very important to me. Also very important for me to say that I'm happy to still be here. I love doing what I'm doing. And like when I wake up in the morning, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. So I thank you all. I think that's it. Is that the last line? Any questions or anything?
The breakfast, do you think that's a time constraint? Like getting kids here early enough to get breakfast and
Partially, yeah, partially. But, you know, that's something that I don't know. Yeah, it is partially that. But, you know, I've seen our numbers drop a little bit at the high school too. So, you know, we've got kids that I know that get there early and they're not coming in. I don't know. I'll be hanging around at breakfast a lot, trying to ask kids what's going on in March coming. But I just feel like it's an opportunity that we're missing because, you know, breakfast is important. We need to be feeding them. So I don't know. But yeah, I think it has a little bit to do with time.
I have a kid that went from 6th grade to 7th grade this year.
Yeah.
So that was a big step. Lots of changes.
Oh
I
yeah.
asked him the first day,
Lots of choices.
so how was school today? Wow, you gotta see that lunchroom, all the stuff like that. That was his number one
I'm glad to hear
cool
that.
thing comment. So.
Yeah. It's
And
exciting
of
when
course, he
they're,
had pizza the first day. So
of course. They'll have pizza the first few weeks.
he hasn't, but he did the first day.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the 7th graders come in. They're a little like struck, you know, even though they've been in there before, you know, and we bring them in to kind of show them around at the end of the year. Then when they actually get in there and they can actually like really tear into the stuff, it's something to see. I always say, you know, last year when I was out there, I looked at it one time, it looked like Woodstock in there. I mean, it was just wall to wall kids. Like, it was crazy. But the 7th graders are fun to watch when they come over.
It's really exciting to see the selections and how well that's going. I know
Yeah.
when we talk about it and you talk to people, parents and things, it's definitely we've got a lot to be proud of in
Yeah.
our school corporation, but it's definitely one of the departments that we talk about just in continued growth and in a positive way. So
It's been fun.
and I know Rob's or Phil, I don't even get his name when he's here, but he normally would ask, so I'll ask since he's not in here right now, if there's anything that you need from the board and support, we just leave that open. Let us know because obviously everyone's very pleased with how the group is doing over there and just what a role it plays in our community. So
Yeah.
thanks
thank
for
you.
your efforts with it.
Yeah, I'm hoping this Facebook thing will like get the word really out there. I do communicate with a lot of the parents, but I'd like to be communicating with more.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of a way to do it these days, hopefully.
I will say too, like the relationship between maintenance and the kitchen staff, just to highlight that was Dennis and I were talking about her equipment, the freezers and even the ovens and things, how they're now Wi-Fi compatible.
Yeah.
We have never had a need for Wi-Fi back in the, in the
Yeah.
kitchen area, but now they've figured out that we can,
Yeah.
you can put recipes,
Yes, I can
program
program
them.
those ovens.
And so again, we're just because of that relationship they built, we're finding out that we've got more capabilities that we can unlock with a very minimal investment. So I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean, from my first year to now, I mean, relationship with maintenance, it's made a huge, huge impact on our department. huge.
That's awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, we will proceed into the action items, and next is the personnel.
Yes, you all have a list of personnel there in front of you. I will highlight that Mr. Miller has given us the new teacher mentors again for this school year. Other than that, it's a pretty small list after last month. So I would recommend that you approve the personnel as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Dennis.
Second.
Thank you, Craig. All those in favor? And next, we're moving into business and the compensation for special ed.
Yes, for the last couple of years, we, as a board, as administration, have asked Holly Butler and as the registrar to help us out with some additional responsibilities with her special education background, and we have compensated for her for that with a small stipend. And so Mr. Miller and I are recommending that you approve that special education stipend for her once again this year.
I think that's something that's most likely appreciated, but appreciated not only by her, but also from the administrative staff, because she's competent at what she does and it eases the burden.
She maintains her teaching license.
Yeah. Works out well for everybody. Yep. So we have a recommendation for the compensation for special ed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Melissa.
Second.
Thank you, Adam. All those in favor? Thanks. Next is the 2027 budget.
Yes, we would like to request approval to advertise for the bus plan for the next 5 years and the capital project plan for the next 3, and our budget replacement plan. We'll have the hearing next month where we'll go over all of those different budgets and plans, but we'd like to ask permission to advertise them.
Thank you, Becky. We have that recommendation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Brian. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Greg. All those in favor? Next are the appropriations.
As we're working through the 2027 budget, we would ask that you approve a resolution for Mr. Whiteley to change allocations in the 2026 budget if needed and decrease them. There are some lines that possibly we over allocated in that we could decrease to help the 27 budget. So we'd like to ask that Mr. Whiteley could decrease any of those lines if needed.
Thank you. And this is a kind of a normal annual request at this time of the year as we work through that. Correct. Okay. Yep, so we have that recommendation for the appropriations. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Melissa.
Second.
Thank you, Dennis. All those in favor? Next is joint services.
Yes, so every year the board approves the agreement with West Central Technical Education Co-op. The agreement is almost identical to last year, except with updated dates and names. So all 4 of the schools, the 3 Montgomery County schools, as well as us, will approve this agreement together and then continue on with our vocational co-op. So I'm requesting that our board approve this agreement with the co-op.
And our joint services co-op is seemingly becoming even more important with
Well,
some
this
of
is
the,
our joint services co-op is no more.
Oh.
This is the career in tech ed. So if I
Okay.
said joint services,
No.
I
Yeah.
misspoke, but this is the CTE co-op.
Gotcha. Okay. Strike that comment that I made.
I think I might have said it
All right.
wrong.
So we have a recommendation, the board approve the agreement with the West Central Technical Education. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Adam. All those in favor? Thanks. And next are the athletic handbook revisions.
Yes, so I shared in an email that I had spoken, the soccer coach, boys soccer coach came and asked me about a student being able to participate in both soccer and football. And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll look into it. And that kind of began this process of investigating dual sport athletics. In the conversations with Jeremy Dexter and Brett Miller, found out that Western Boone has long since not allowed it, and for good reason, I think. But I think it has put us at a competitive disadvantage for our soccer program, especially. And so we worked together and looked at some agreements that some of our other neighboring schools had, tried to put together something that would benefit our programs and our student athletes, but also give our head coaches, complete control over that as well. And so I guess I, along with Jeremy, are requesting the board to approve this addition to the handbook to allow this. And really my feeling about it is that it's not set in stone or permanent. I think it's worth a shot. We give it a try and see how it goes. And if we need to make revisions or changes down the road, then we should do that. So
All right.
be happy to answer any questions or entertain any discussions or talk about further.
So as we're moving forward, this is for any sport that wants to do it. They just have to designate primary, secondary. We're not just doing it as a pilot program for this one instance.
Right. No, it's open to all, but again, it would require the approval of both head coaches. So there are going to be some situations that just aren't feasible due to schedules and so on. But there's opportunity for student athletes to possibly explore this in a couple different scenarios. Yes.
And I'm assuming if a student wants to and they go to both their coaches and one's willing and the other one's not, then does that go before the athletic director as an appeal process, or it's just if they don't both sign off on it?
Both coaches have to sign off on it, and then it goes to the athletic director. So both coaches have to be in support of it for it to move forward. We thought that was really important so that there weren't any infighting or conflicts. Not that we anticipate any, but.
And so if one coach is not, how does that get, what would that look like if one coach says, no, I'm not willing to do that. I don't think that works out. How does that work out then? I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea of this. I just want to make sure I understand.
Right.
Maybe you have an idea ahead of time.
Well, I mean, I think that's the part of the process is getting in touch with both coaches. And I think that the student athlete and probably the parent would have those discussions with the coaches up front. But, and there is a designation of a primary sport and secondary sport.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the secondary sport that's declined, I would assume the athlete would then just participate in the primary sport. I feel like if it's the primary sport coach that says, this is not a good idea for you as a student athlete or for the program, then I guess in my mind, I would hope that then the student would have the ability to participate in secondary sport as the primary or one and only. I don't know if you have different thoughts, Jeremy, on that.
I think what we've got, if a coach doesn't agree, then the student's just gonna have to choose what sport they're gonna play.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
They're only picking primary or secondary if they're in the dual sport situation. So if one coach doesn't agree, then they have a choice for what sport they would choose to play.
That's a way better way to say it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. There's a paragraph talks about the coaches don't have the authority to change the rules. I mean, it's a primary, and the primary coach can't say, well, I'll let you off this week so you can play in the secondary game. He does not have authority to do that. Right. They follow the rules.
Yeah, it seemed to be like very thought out, and I don't know if
There were several revisions and a lot of discussion put into it. And again, I thought it was a fair ask from our soccer coach specifically, but I also think that it has greater applications and it may need tweaking. And if so, then we'll bring that to the board again down the road if needed.
So thanks for your work with it. So we have a recommendation to approve the revision of the 26-27 school year athletic handbook. Is there a motion?
so moved.
Thank you, Brian.
Second.
Thank you, Adam. All those in favor? And non-resident students.
Non-resident students. We're happy to see them. We have a longer list. I'll go through them quickly. Nova Smith, Granville Wells Pre-K. Carson Hardwick, Granville Wells first grade. Brantley Shaw, Granville Wells second grade. Benjamin Overbay, Granville Wells fourth grade. Bo Heckathorn, Granville Wells sixth grade. Georgia Schultz, Thorntown Pre-K. Peyton Cummings, Thorntown Kindergarten. Weston Massengill, Thorntown Kindergarten. Annalie Montgomery, Thorntown Kindergarten. Coraline Shockey, Thorntown Kindergarten. Thomas Dunbar, Thorntown first grade. Elizabeth Baker, Thorntown third grade. Zoe Britton and Owen Nance, Thorntown fourth grade. Hudson Abbott, Kaylin Baird, Cooper Britton, Aria Baker. Those are all Thorntown fifth graders. Dallas Gunn, Western Boone seventh grade. Zane Casto, Western Boone 10th grade. Tristan Fairfield, Riley Gunn, Sophia Morgan, Hadley Scott are all Western Boone 10th graders recommended for your approval tonight.
Thank you. We have that recommendation for those non-resident students. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Greg.
Second.
Thank you, Dennis. All those in favor?
And a couple, intra-district transfers. Oliver Blickensderfer, Granville Wells from Thorntown, and Riella Blickens, did I say it right? Riella Blickensderfer, Granville Wells from Thorntown.
So we have a recommendation for those two as intra-district
Intra-district, yep.
transfers. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thanks, Adam.
Second.
Thank you, Dennis. All those in favor? Thank you. Next are claims.
Yes, there are a few claims I'd like to mention. There is an ACH payment, $723.26, and it was for $5,200, and that was to screen and recoat the high school gym floor. There's an ACH payment, $723.26 for Michael's Crow Painting for $5,820, and that was for some painting in the high school. There was a check 098067 for $3,400. And that was for maintenance and care for the turf football field. There was a check 098068 for Wilson Concrete Construction for $2,350, and that was concrete work at the high school. And then there was an ACH payment 8726 for Wilson Contracting for $3,445. That was concrete on the sidewalk at Thorntown. And then there are some more claims on the back for construction items attached to your register.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the claims for July 20th, 2026 through August 10th, 2026, then as submitted. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Adam. All those in favor? Okay. And monthly financial reports are next.
At the end of July, the education fund cash balance was $5,636,750. The expenditures for the month of July were $1,156,529, and that was 51% of the appropriations had been spent through July. And the operation fund, the cash balance was $3,767,497. The expenditures for July in the operations fund were $397,552. And that also is 51% of the total appropriations of what we allocated for through July. July was a 3-pay month, so the allocations percent was a little higher and the expenditures were higher in both accounts. Interest that we have on our investments for Home National Bank, the interest earned is $79,345.06. At the North Salem State Bank, it's $25,171.18. The Trust Indiana is $165,011.98. And the Key Bank is $9,431.60 interest for the year.
Thank you. Next is category of other.
Yes, we have 2 items in the category of other. The first is personnel, Thorntown Kitchen for Ardesia Handlin, effective August 4th, and I would recommend you approve her, please.
Thank you. We have a recommendation for that personnel hiring. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Melissa. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Adam. All those in favor?
The other one was a revision to the foreign exchange student policy, board policy 6420. This was a policy revision was to match what our practice is. And so we've developed some guidelines around taking foreign exchange students. We actually have 2 this year. And so we wanted to make sure that the board policy was corresponding with what we were actually doing, and also that it was that it corresponded with what was allowable by law as well. So those recommendations were for that board policy to be revised in that way.
Thank you for clarification of that. So we have a recommendation for that update of the foreign exchange board policy. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Dennis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Greg. All those in favor? Thanks. And announcements are next.
Announcements. August 28th is the Western Boone Education Foundation Pork Burger Night, the first home varsity football game. So I would invite everyone to come out and support the Stars and the Education Foundation. That's August 28th. The next board meeting is September 14th. So it's kind of weird because we had a very quick turnaround from last meeting to this meeting, 3 weeks, and now we go 5 weeks before the September meeting just because of the way the weekends fell. So September 14th will be our next regular monthly board meeting. And those were the only 2 dates that I had to mention. I did just want to, say a heartfelt thanks to the leaders, administrators in this room. The first week of school and the lead up to it is taxing, and it's they're long days, and this team just pitches in and helps one another and does what's best for their staff members and for their students. And so I'm really proud to be part of this team and to be able to get to a board meeting on the same week that we start school is a lot. So I don't know, somebody could work on that schedule. That would be great. But no, I just wanted to publicly acknowledge our administrative leadership team for the great work that they do. So
I would just throw out, as far as the community over the last month, while 4-H isn't a school-sponsored event, we have a lot of kids from this community who participate in different things with ag, and we had what I heard is we had some really good showings in the Queen contest, and a lot of the people in the Queen contest, and a lot of good representation from the kids and the families in our district, and a lot of the things that got done at the county fair that ended up going and presenting at the state fair. So a lot of effort goes into those. That's always neat to see the families in the community have some shine put their way for the efforts they put in. That was good. If there are no other announcements, I would accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you, Dennis.
Second.
Thank you, Melissa. All those in favor? Thank you all for making it tonight. It's good to have you here.